What's up guys, I'm the Ultimate Fighting Consultant, and today we got our quick picks and official bets so far for UFC Vegas 100. Quick recap on last week, we killed it. We went 11 for 13 on our predictions, only missing the main and co-main event. And quick shout out to UFC Predictions Tracker for including us on his list, because we tied for second in most correct picks out of all YouTubers, and we were second in terms of profitability. Now this is based on an imaginary $100 bet on each of my full card picks, but that's not how we place bets here, right? So let's take a look at mine last week. We crushed it. We went 8 out of 11 on our bets. Our safety parlay cashed in Mallet and Zalal, and we even hit a plus 750 prop on Zalal by sub. We ended off with 2.59 units and net profit at a 59% ROI. So make sure to hit that Discord link in the comments or the description to join. It's free access till the end of the year. Now that we got that out of the way, let's get right into the picks. Opening up the card, we got Tresean Gore taking on Antonio Trocolio, and neither of these guys are very active. Yeah, Trocolio did fight June of this year. That was his only fight since 2021 though. You got Gore, who hasn't fought since 2022, but I'm leaning Trocolio here, guys. There's too many unknowns with Gore. He hasn't fought since 2022. He's had multiple injuries, so we don't know what we're gonna get out of him here. Therefore, I'm not betting on a guy like that. So give me the underdog Trocolio here. Next up, we got Gaston Bolanos taking on Cortavious Romious. Romious is the pick here. He's more well-rounded. I liked how he looked on Contender Series. I think he could hang with Bolanos on the feet, and if he gets his fight to the ground, he could potentially find a sub. Romious is the pick. Next up, we got Mullins taking on Klaudia Sygula. Sygula is making her UFC debut, and to be honest guys, her level of competition before the UFC isn't all that impressive. So I'm going with Mullins in this matchup. She has the better wrestling, and I think she puts the pressure on Sygula, finds the takedowns, and gets the win here. Mullins is the pick. Next up, we got Cody Stamann taking on Blackshear. Both of these guys are coming off back-to-back losses, but I'm going with Blackshear here. Even though he got knocked out in his last fight, he has solid striking, power, and wrestling, and I think he's slightly better wherever this fight goes. Blackshear is the pick. Next up, we got Semelsberger taking on Charles Radtke. Semelsberger is on a 3-fight losing streak. He hasn't won since 2022. That's why it's hard to take him here as a slight underdog. Yeah, Radtke did lose by TKO to Carlos Prates in his last fight, but it wasn't like he got knocked out cold. He ate a knee to the liver. You know, if he got put out cold and he's coming back a couple months later, I'd probably lean Semelsberger here. But Radtke is the pick here. I think he weathers the storm, uses his wrestling, and wears Semelsberger down. Give me Charles Radtke. Next up, we got Mansur Abdul-Malik taking on Dusko Todorovic. Malik is an undefeated fighter making his UFC debut here. He has good takedowns, solid wrestling, and heavy top pressure. He does get hit though. He has gotten dropped before, but he stays resilient. And when he takes you down, he's not looking to grind out a decision. He's looking to get you out of there. And I think he gets a guy like Dusko out of there. We've seen Dusko get taken down before. So Malik is the pick here. And for our featured prelim, we got Elizeu Zaleski dos Santos taking on Nicolas Dalby. I'm going with Dalby here. He's very durable, he has power, and he has a very weird breathing technique, but I guess it works because he has good cardio. I think he's going to have more volume here, and he's going to look to mix in the takedowns if he has to. Dalby is the pick. Next up, we got Luana Pinheiro taking on Gillian Robertson. I'm going with Robertson here. She's the way better wrestler. She should be able to get this fight to the ground. 9 of her 14 wins come by submission, so we're going to keep an eye on that prop once those lines comes out, but Gillian is the pick here. Next up, we got GM3 Gerald taking on Rainer the Ritter. Ritter is a former 1FC champion, and he's making his UFC debut here. Now, I see a lot of people taking Mearshart here, and I'm just wondering, how do you see him winning? Ritter has good wrestling, and he has 11 wins by submission. So do you think GM3 gets a sub here? I don't think so. How about on the feet? Mearshart's not very fast. He's stiff with his striking. I think Ritter's the better fighter here overall. Therefore, he is the pick. Next up, we got Ricky Turcios taking on Bernardo Sopai. Now guys, hear me out. I'm not ready to pull the rug on Sopai, okay? Yeah, his last fight he got knocked out in the third, but guess what? That was his UFC debut that he took on short notice, and he absolutely dominated the first round and most of the second round until he gassed out. Now he has a full training camp, and he's going up against Ricky Turcios, who I don't rate very highly. He fights weird, and I don't see him getting a knockout or submitting Sopai. So give me Sopai. I think we either see an early finish, or he's going to look to slow it down a bit and take his time. Sopai is the pick here. Next up, we got Karolina Kowalkiewicz taking on Denise Gomez. Gomez is the pick here. She's 15 years younger, she's the better wrestler, and she's vicious. 6 of her 9 wins come by way of knockout. She's a minus 520 favorite and she probably should be. Gomez is the pick. And for our co-main event, we got Cody No Love Garbrandt taking on Miles Johns. Cody's coming off that submission loss to Deiveson Figueiredo. But here's the thing. He didn't look too bad in the first round. He rocked Deiveson a couple times and defended his takedowns. Yeah, he got submitted in the second. But here's the thing. Miles Johns isn't Deiveson Figueiredo. That same submission threat isn't there. He only has 2 wins by submission. His striking's nowhere as clean and as good as Deiveson's. He loads up and throws big shots. And because he's not as good as Deiveson on the feet, I think Cody could worry less about Miles striking here and focus more on defending takedowns. I think he's going to be cleaner, faster, and land bigger shots here. Therefore, Cody is the pick and he is our underdog of the week. And for our main event, we got Carlos Prates taking on Neil Magny. Prates is winning this fight, guys. He's too good on the feet. He's almost like a welterweight Alex Pereira. Magny's coming off a knockout loss to Michael Morales, and I think it gets worse here. Prates is the pick, but minus 800 is steep. I hope the knockout prop will become more affordable. And now we move to our official bets, guys, but before we do, make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the video so far, and join up on the Discord link in the comments below. It's free to join. And this is a tricky card, but we have 5 official bets so far. First up, we got our underdog of the week, half a unit on Cody Garbrandt at plus 130. Next up, we got 3/4 of a unit on Cortavious Romious at minus 180. Now we move to our parlays for our safety bet of the week. And guys, we've been killing the safety bets. You could call me a walk-in minus 400 because we're hitting at 80%. We're 4-1 on safety bets and we're up over 4.38 units alone off of it. But our safety bet this week, we're going with 1.4 units on Abdul-Malik. I think he's going to be too physical, too much for Dusko to handle. And we're going with Sopai. I think with a full training camp this time around, he's going to walk through a guy like Turkios. We're locking this parlay in at minus 139. Next up, we got half a unit on Charles Radtke and Gillian Robertson to win at plus 101. And last but not least, we got half a unit on Nicolas, Dalby, and Carlos Prates to win at minus 101. And that does it for my official bets so far, guys. I'll be posting more in the Discord the closer we get to the fights. I'm the Ultimate Fighting Consultant, and I'll see you in the next one.